Imagine a land in turmoil. Warlords clash, villages burn, and chaos reigns. But then, against all odds, a ruler emerges. Not a warrior, not a king, a woman. She doesn't wield a sword, she wields mystery, prophecy, and an unshakable connection to the divine. She is Himiko, Japan's first recorded ruler, a queen cloaked in secrecy, a shamaness who spoke to the spirits, and a leader whose influence stretched beyond Japan's shores to the mighty Chinese Empire. But who was she really? A divinely chosen priestess? A cunning strategist? Or a ghost in history, erased from Japan's own records? What we know about her comes not from Japan, but from ancient Chinese texts. The records of the Three Kingdoms describe her as a queen who united a fractured land. Yet, in Japan's oldest historical records, the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, she is missing. Was she deliberately left out? Did later rulers rewrite history to fit their own narrative? Today, we unravel the truth behind the Queen of Wa. Was she a forgotten legend, or the true architect of Japan's earliest diplomacy? Stick around as we uncover the astonishing story of a woman who may have shaped Japan as we know it. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, because history has never been this thrilling. Japan's earliest history isn't told by the Japanese. It comes from ancient Chinese records, painting a picture of a land once divided, a land known as Wa, a collection of over 100 warring communities, each vying for dominance. The history of the Kingdom of Wa, written in 297 AD, and the history of the later Han Dynasty, compiled in 445 AD, provide our first glimpse into this fragmented world. These chronicles tell us that some of these early Japanese states sent envoys to the powerful Han Dynasty in China. In fact, in 57 AD, one such envoy reached the Han court in present-day Xi'an, and the Han Emperor rewarded them with a golden seal, a symbol of recognition. Centuries later, in 1784, this very seal was unearthed in northern Kyushu, offering concrete evidence of Japan's earliest diplomacy. But as time passed, war consumed the land of Wa. The once 100 communities dwindled to just 30, locked in endless conflict. For years, Japan was ruled by men, until their leadership failed. As chaos spiraled out of control, the people turned to a woman. Her name, Himiko. Unlike the warlords before her, Himiko didn't claim power through brute force. She ruled through mysticism, prophecy, and the divine will of the kami, spirits. She was a shaman-queen, a bridge between the mortal and spiritual realms, and the people believed she alone could bring order. This shift from a warrior king to a priestess queen suggests that in early Japan, political power wasn't just about the sword, it was deeply tied to the supernatural. But where exactly did Himiko rule? The kingdom of Yamatai rose victorious from years of conflict, uniting 30 once feuding states under her leadership. Yet even today, historians fiercely debate where Yamatai was located. Some argue it was in northern Kyushu, where early diplomatic contact with China took place. Others claim it was in the Kinki region, the heartland of Japan's later Yamato rulers. The mystery endures, but one thing is certain. Himiko's reign was a turning point, marking one of Japan's first steps toward political centralization. From a land of war to a kingdom under a single queen, Japan's story was just beginning. Where exactly was Yamatai, the lost kingdom of Queen Himiko? For centuries, scholars have fought over its true location, dividing into two fiercely opposing camps. Team Kyushu believes Yamatai was in northern Kyushu, Japan's earliest diplomatic hub. Team Kinki argues it was in the Nara Basin, aligning with the later Yamato state, Japan's imperial heartland. This isn't just a dry academic debate, it's a battle over Japan's origins. If Yamatai was in Kyushu, then Japan's first centralized power emerged there, separate from the later Yamato rulers. But if it was in Kinki, it neatly supports the imperial family's official lineage, linking them directly to Japan's earliest state. So, why is this still unsolved? Blame the Chinese records. The records of Wei describe the journey to Yamatai using a mix of li, an ancient Chinese unit of distance, and days of travel. But the numbers don't add up. Follow them literally, and you'll end up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Clearly, something got lost in translation. To fix these contradictions, historians have recalculated the route, leading to two competing theories. The Kyushu hypothesis places Yamatai near Fukuoka, supported by the large fortified Yayoi settlement at Yoshinogari. The Kinki hypothesis points to Makimuku in Nara, a site with massive buildings and burial mounds dating to Himiko's era. Some even speculate that Yamatai and Yamato were one and the same, with the latter evolving from the former. But with no definitive proof, the mystery of Yamatai remains unsolved. For now, one thing is certain. Wherever it stood, Yamatai was the first recorded step toward Japan's unification. Himiko wasn't just a ruler, she was a diplomatic mastermind. In 238 AD, she did something no recorded Japanese leader had ever done before. She reached beyond Japan's shores to forge ties with one of the most powerful empires of the time, the mighty Wei Dynasty of China. She sent envoys across the sea to the court of Emperor Cao Rui, seeking more than just trade. She wanted recognition, legitimacy, and power, and it worked. The emperor acknowledged her rule, bestowing upon her the prestigious title of Shingi Wao, ruler of Wa, friend of Wei. This wasn't just ceremonial flattery. In the world of ancient diplomacy, titles like these were game changers. They served as official proof of her sovereignty, solidifying her authority at home and abroad. Along with this title, China rewarded her with a golden seal, luxurious silk garments, and other prestigious gifts, all symbols of her rising influence. But this move wasn't just about diplomatic prestige. Himiko played the long game. Aligning with Wei granted her access to powerful allies, valuable resources, and even the possibility of military support. Yet not everyone in Japan saw this growing Chinese connection as a good thing. Some rival factions weren't exactly thrilled about Himiko's newfound status, setting the stage for power struggles to come. Himiko may have unified Wa, but peace was far from permanent. Rival factions lurked in the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. One of her greatest adversaries was a warlord known as Himikuko, ruler of a neighboring state called Kuna. Their power struggle escalated, forcing Himiko to call for backup, not from within Japan, but from a foreign superpower. She turned to the newly appointed Chinese governor of Daifang in Korea, securing China's intervention to keep her kingdom from collapsing. But even the might of China couldn't hold things together forever. In 247 AD, Himiko died under mysterious circumstances. Was it assassination, illness, a coup? No one knows for sure. What we do know is that her death unleashed absolute chaos. A male ruler tried to seize power, but his reign spiraled into disaster. Rebellion exploded across the land, and over 1,000 people lost their lives in the turmoil. It was clear the people didn't want just any leader. They wanted another queen. Enter Iyo, a 13-year-old girl who was chosen to rule. almost immediately, peace was restored. This wasn't just an accident, it was a statement. The people of Wa weren't just accepting female leadership. They seemed to prefer it in times of crisis. Himiko's legacy didn't die with her. If anything, her mysterious end only reinforced the undeniable power that women wielded in early Japan. Was Himiko a real historical queen, a divine priestess, or a figure deliberately erased from Japan's chronicles? The truth remains elusive, but one thing is certain: her legacy refuses to be forgotten. From ancient Chinese records to modern archaeological debates, the enigma of Himiko still captivates scholars and history lovers alike. What do you think? Was she a masterful ruler, a myth woven into history, or something else entirely? Drop your theories in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the past, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss an epic story from history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another thrilling journey through history.